if the thought of approaching a girl makes you like shudder in fear and it just paralyzes you in your soul, keep watching because this is how I overcame approach anxiety, and I know that this is going to work for you too. It's going to take a bit of time, but I know you're the type of person who doesn't give a fuck and will do anything to get there. So the problem is that if you're trying to do your first ever cold approach, or if you're just trying to get started with doing regular approaches, it's hard because in order to overcome your approach anxiety, you need to approach, but you can't approach because of your approach anxiety. So it's this vicious circle. You can't approach because of your anxiety, but approaching is the only thing that's going to solve the anxiety. So what the fuck do you do? The key here, this is what I did in February 2022, 2021, 2 years ago. God, time flies. I did this 2 years ago. What I did is I followed this course called the Good Looking Loser Approach Anxiety course. This is a course which is free on the internet. You can literally go and look it up. I might even link it in the description if you're lucky. What this does is it allows you to, instead of having to approach women straight away, you do other tasks that reduce your approach anxiety that are a little bit easier to do, and it just gets your foot in the door. So, for example, it starts off on week one is you go around and you ask people for the time. Now, this might make you feel really anxious, and it did for me as well. But trust me, once you ask the first person for the time and you realize, oh, they're literally just going to give you the time and that's it, and then you will keep walking, you're going to gain confidence in yourself and you're going to start to build up momentum. And pretty much the course just gets more and more intense. Now, you don't have to follow the course all the way through, like at like day 16 or 18 or something. Like I actually dropped off and I just started doing cold approaches because by that point my approach anxiety was so blunted by the course that I could just get straight into doing cold approach and it wasn't a problem. So what I would recommend you do is do that course. If this is for if you're extremely anxious, if you're not that anxious, you can get straight into cold approach. But if you feel as though you just need that extra time and that extra, you feel like your anxiety response is just too haywire, you just want to blunt it a little bit more, start off with the Good Looking Loser AA course. Ask people for the time on day one. Get out there and just fucking do it. And complete the days sequentially. I did this and yeah, it works so well because you just get used to it. And once you get used to it, then as I said, you jump off and you just start doing cold approaches. And by that point, I was, so I started in February. I think around after May, I was fine. Like I was fine. I could do like cold approaches. I didn't give a fuck. So, that would be my tip. If you're extremely anxious, do the AA course. Take as much time as you want. Start small. That's the key. Start small. Overcome the approach anxiety just by tiny amounts and take your fucking time and just review your progress after a month. How far have I got over a month? Can I ask X amount of people for the time after a week, after a month? Take your time and just gradually pick away at it. Because you have to do this. You have to overcome this beast in order to get dates, in order to get chicks. You have to. You have to overcome approach anxiety. There is no way around it. But you can overcome it in clever ways. You can be tactical about it. You have to overcome approach anxiety. Given that you really just feel as though it's too hard, to throw yourself straight in, start off small, build up, and then when you feel ready, go for it, pull the trigger and get in there and do approaches. Trust me, this is how I did it. It took some time, but it was amazing. Hope that helped.